here.
was just a trade that happened. Hold on. If I can find it.
Trade that happened just now?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We get some breaking news?
Yeah, right here. The Vikings have acquired the Texans' first-round pick, the number 23 overall, for a package that includes second rounders for this year and next year. What are they doing?
So Minnesota gets
the Texans' first-round pick, which is number 23. Houston gets number 42 this year, number 188 this year, and a second rounder next year.
But that second rounder could wind up being like a backdoor first rounder.
34. Yeah.
It could be like another first rounder. So that's actually pretty smart. The Texans, I'm telling you, there's some of these franchises that need to go find that manual, that instruction manual they had when they started with DeMeco Ryans, because they're using it the right way, bro.
You think Minnesota did this because they knew that they want to take one of those quarterbacks, one of those like Bo Nix or Penix?
Maybe
it's going to be hanging around at that time.
Because
why would you make that move other than for a quarterback? Like, there's no.
Let me ask
who's at 23? Are you doing it for a wide receiver? I don't think so.
But let me ask you this, man. At 23, I don't, and maybe I'm just forgetting, but do you remember a quarterback that went? We see the quarterbacks late rounder guys, the Purdy's and Brady's of the world that wind up becoming something. I don't recall many mid to late first round quarterbacks that wound up panning out.
Lamar Jackson.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's about the only one I can think of.
Around that, though, wasn't he? When he like 22, 23?
He was 20. Yeah. We just saw he was like 20 or something.
Lamar's a good one. Yeah, Lamar. But that was a weird one. That was
Baltimore traded up to get to the last pick of the draft.
Pick of the first round.
Yeah, because they wanted that 5th-year option on him.
Okay.
But that's about the only one. You're right. I'm
not saying. I'm not sitting here saying that it's for sure. That's why I was more asking anything. It just feel like I think the one that sticks out in my mind is Kenny Pickett.
I think I might become a Houston fan.
So you ain't got to really change your colors.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I think I might, dude. I like it. Yeah, I'm curious of what they're doing here. Maybe they're trying to move up again. Maybe they're trying to. This is the first piece of the puzzle. Because then what does Minnesota?
Could be that does happen, but it's kind of.
Do they not?
Kind of funny, man. I might have to do you a quilt like I do E for all these college basketball teams. I might have to make you a quilt for all your NFL teams.
I mean, I was used to most of my life. Everyone called me a bandwagon fan, anyways. Even though I was a Patriot fan since I was 10. Not my fault that I like excellence.
It's just bad luck for you because you just so happen to fall right in that category. It doesn't matter if you're a fan your whole life.
The reason why I became a New England fan was because of Brady. Literally, his first year, it just worked out that I ended up playing quarterback in school, like in middle school, the same time as Brady was getting his shot, and then
his prime or starting
him and
prime.
Manning and all them. Yeah, it was. Oh, that was the Cleveland pick too. That wasn't even Houston's original pick. So Houston still has, or did they trade? Oh no, Houston already traded away their other first rounder, didn't they?
That was last year to get back up to number 3 to get Will Anderson Jr. I believe was part of that.
Yeah, deal. See, this was from Houston. This was Houston's original pick. Arizona has it.
Yeah, that's what the one that traded last year.
Houston had Cleveland's pick from the Watson trade. So.
Cleveland.
Look at this. Minnesota now has 23 and Minnesota has 11. Do you think Minnesota is going to – I think they're trying to jump up into the top 5.
I mean, they got –
and you know who's going to do it? You know who's going to – freaking this team right here. They're going to be like, we'll take 11, 23, a second rounder and a first rounder next year.
They might give it to your – they might jump to 3, bro. They might give y'all – and you'd be
That's what I just said. They're going to do it.
And you'd be – they should. I think you'd be foolish not to – I'll be like, all right, you give me that 11 and that 23.
And a first next year?
Second. You give me the 11 and 23 this year, and I'll take a second next year. Well, they don't have a second next year. They already gave it away.
Yeah.
So never mind. I don't think you're getting 3 first rounders.
You're not. But you. I think you are, because you're not going to move up to 3 to draft a quarterback when they know that's what you want. You're not just for a number 11 and number 23. The math doesn't add up there. You always have to overpay if you want one of these quarterbacks. So they're definitely getting at least 2 seconds. If I'm giving up
3 first rounders, I'm giving them to Chicago or Washington, and I'm going to pick the one I want. If I'm getting rid of 3 first rounders, I'm getting the guy for sure I want. I'm not giving 3 first rounders to get the third and maybe have to take the third quarterback on the board.
These guys aren't budging though.
For 3 first rounders?
No, they're not budging. They want their guy. Well, one, Chicago.
The Bears totally would do some shit like that.
I mean, it is the Bears. You can't rule anything out.
That wouldn't be a bad move. They probably won't do it because the Bears are ignorant. But they'll probably go ahead and stay right there and take Caleb Williams. But they would be way smarter I think it would be worth it if you just get those 2 first rounders right there from this year.
No, that's
They're
never
not
how
going to do
that
that.
works
They're
out.
not going to settle for that. But I think it would be worth it if you got that.
I'm calling it now. It's going to be at least 3 first rounders. That's what these teams do. They get all in love with the quarterback.
Well, they
and
suck
they
for
go all
2
in.
decades at a time because they give away all
They
their top
definitely
draft
do.
picks.
If you were to bet on this, would you bet that Minnesota makes a trade into the top 10 or tries to, but
They're for
ultimately
sure.
doesn't?
They're moving up again. I think you're
Yeah.
right. I think you're spot on with that. I think seeing that trade.
Why else would you trade randomly
Yeah.
for 23?
That's what I'm saying. What are you looking at 23 right there that you're like, I just have to get to this spot to be sure I have a chance at this guy. I think that's totally a move to try to get up higher than 11. That's a good point.
And
Man.
you heard it here first at Game
You
On,
did.
the Sports Morning Espresso Shot. All right.
That's
so
a
when
great
people
point and a
come
great
out
angle. I do
in
think you're spot on.
a couple of weeks from now, when people are like, "Oh, look at this! It was all part of their plan," I'm like, "Yeah, we told you that." Like literally, right as it broke, so we
Bookmark.
could put 2 and 2 together.